All right, so we got the Rams and Patriots in the Super Bowl. We're going to focus on the Rams here and their keys to victory in this game. Now, we're going to look back on two games. You have their one mutual opponent with the Patriots in the Kansas City Chiefs. Both teams beat the Chiefs. They did it in different ways, though. Now, the Rams, they just outscored them. Barely. I mean, that was a pinball machine game. And the Rams lit up the scoreboard from every possible position. They just happened to have the ball a little bit longer in the right times, score just barely enough points. Exactly the game the league wants these days. But yeah, more luck involved than scheme in that game. And their most recent loss. Their most recent loss was to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles were able to neutralize their running game, did just enough against their passing game to slow them down, and the Rams' defense isn't as strong as their offense. So the Eagles were able to take advantage of their secondary and do what they needed to win. It was a very close game still, but the Eagles took care of business. Those two games matter when talking about the Super Bowl here, because the Rams have learned their lesson. Yeah, they're not the same team that they were in either of those games. Now, beginning of the year, they were throwing the ball all over the place, and teams just could not keep up with them offensively. They had Cooper Kupp. Now, that guy made a huge difference in this offense. And it created mismatches in the defensive secondary because there were just too many people to guard. And there was always one person, whether it be Cooks, Kupp, or Woods, that could get open on their guy easily enough. And they just had a deep shot open almost every third or fourth play. It was ridiculous. Well, Kupp got hurt. Took that ability away from them. They hadn't really figured out the recipe of what they needed to do going forward by the time they'd gotten to that Eagles game. And the Eagles showed them that they could not continue to play the way they were and expect to win. Enter C.J. Anderson. And now this offense is very run-heavy. They were before. Todd Gurley is the man. He's one of the best running backs in the league, so obviously you're going to ride that as far as you can. But now with C.J. Anderson in the mix, they're both fresh all the time. So you get a fresh C.J. Anderson, who's a good, not great running back, and a fresh Todd Gurley, who is a great running back, taking turns just beating the living heck out of a defense all game. And by the time the end of the game comes, the defense has been on the field so long just getting manhandled by that offensive line and that pair of running backs that they're tired, they're hurt, they're beat up, they can't do anything anymore, and the Rams take serious advantage of that. Now, they would have scored, obviously, throughout the game, so late in the game, they're either close or winning, and all they have to do is keep that machine running because the defense is too tired to do anything about it anymore. Now, I expect them to be able to do this against anyone, including the Patriots, because the Patriots' strength on defense is certainly not up the middle. It's certainly not their defensive line. It's Stephen Gilmore. Their ability to shut down the top wide receiver on the opposite team and then just scheme for the rest of it. Well, scheming's fine when the other team relies on scheme to be effective. The Rams don't. It's good old-fashioned punching people in the mouth. So scheme's not going to matter, all right? You can't scheme for getting steamrolled. You just can't. So the Patriots will have to keep up with the score. They will not be able to dictate the pace like they've been able to against other teams. Because that's what the Rams do. And they do it better than anyone else, including the Patriots. So, since the Patriots cannot play their exact game the way they want against the Rams, based off of what the Rams' strengths are, I honestly don't expect them to do anything different. As long as the Rams stay healthy in this game at both running back and all their offensive line positions, they will be able to do this methodically, and it won't look easy, but it will be easy because they won't have to change anything that they're used to doing. They just have to play their game, stay focused on what it is they do on offense. They will score enough, they'll dominate the pace of the game, they will dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides enough to come out with a win. It will still be close because Tom Brady is who he is. But as long as the Rams can stick to their current model game plan, dictating the pace of the game with both running backs and creating pressure up the middle with Aaron Donald on defense in order to prevent the opposing team's quarterback from doing enough to come back, they'll be fine. Sean McVay will get a feather in his cap for this one. Everybody will be hiring young offensive mind coaches for the next 3 years thinking they can duplicate Sean McVay, not realizing that this man just has an old school thought process. He prepares better than people around him. He grinds. He subscribes to very old traditional football with the twist of recognizing what's going on in the world around him. That's it. And young, new creative minds don't always like things old school. So McVay is in a vacuum. Let's not think that every young offensive mind is the next Sean McVay, because he's not. The Rams have themselves a good one. They're going to win a lot of games with this guy. I expect them to win a lot of Super Bowls with this guy. And this will be their first. It'll be close, but the Rams are taking it home with a strong running game and pressure up the middle.